Are you ready? Part 2 is here. Last week, Beth and I dove into why you need a brand in real estate, or honestly, any small business in general, what that looks like. And today we are going to dive into how to actually make it happen. So these are going to be steps that you can take that are going to identify your brand voice, and get you started today. So let's dive in. You're listening to the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Busbench podcast, where we invite you to check your ego at the app, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive into all things real estate marketing, social media, friendship, hardship, love, money mindset, and all the things that celebrate you as a badass boss babe.
We're here to encourage you, show up for you, give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most, and be your soft place to land on the hardest of days. So pull up a seat at our table and get ready to be inspired and start living your best life by design.
Welcome to the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Busbench podcast. We are so excited you're here.
Okay, girls, let's dive in.
Okay, Busbench Babes, if you are anywhere in the Midwest area, or just, I guess everywhere's had kind of crazy weather this year, but in Minnesota, we are finally in summer. And seriously, we've had cold weather. It's not been great. And this week we are going to be in the 80s every single day, and we're all here for it. And I just cannot wait. Kaya starts school this week. It's just so many things are happening for us and changes. And I think for you probably too, right? Summer's busy, and it's really easy to take a break from our businesses and sort of check out, or like let stuff kind of, set to the side, and then we deal with it in the fall when the craze happens. Yes, of course, like we do that as well, but it's a good idea to structure things out and set yourself up for success come fall. And like Beth and I mentioned in last week's episode, we're seeing a huge shift on social media and honestly in postcards that are being mailed out and emails that are being sent to us. And it feels like so many of us are screaming to the masses instead of really truly speaking to our ideal audience and really operating our brands for what they are, like a reflection of our business, our identity. And this is something that is just really so important. And it's something that's going to make your business sustainable long term. And just things that I believe in wholeheartedly are the foundation for building a successful business at this point is a brand. So we mentioned in last week's show that if you don't have a brand in a couple years, you're really not going to have a successful business. And that's not to say you won't have any business, but things are changing and people are buying from brands. They don't buy from businesses anymore. They buy from brands. So this is a time where things are busy. Summer's here, kids are doing all kinds of activities, and we just want to enjoy those happy hours on the patio and boating. And for us, we love hiking and going up to the North Shore and traveling and all that. And yes, we can do that, but let's also stay focused on our brand and creating that if we don't currently have one, and really making sure that we're fine-tuning it. So once the fall and the winter hits, we don't have that big lull. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into those 5 actionable items that we left with you at the end of last week's episode. And we're going to look at those more in depth and give you strategies on how you can actually execute today and start creating a brand that really, really works for you and your clients. So basically, like, how do you go from crap, like what is a brand, to making it come to life, right? And the very first actionable item that we gave last week was to identify who you are speaking to, like who is the message for, who's your ideal audience, and speak to them every time you post. So just reminding you that like the post isn't for us, right? Sure, it can serve us. Sure, it can feel good. Yes, it's authentic to us, but we're not just posting for us. We're posting for that ideal client or who we're trying to reach. And once we really identify who they are, this can start helping us identify what our brand voice actually is. Like, who are these people? Are my ideal clients, people that live in the city? Do they live in the country? Do they live in the suburbs? Where do they shop? Like, where do their kids go to school? Do they have kids? Are they dog people? Are they outdoorsy people? Like, what's important to them? What are their values? And really starting to look at that and not just like yours. A lot of times we're going to align in so many ways with our clients. And that's the really cool part, I think, is when when you align and you have really similar values, and then serving feels extra good because you really are filling yourself up. But starting with identifying who that client is or who that message is for every time you post on social media, every time you send an email newsletter to them, every time you send them a postcard in the mail or whatever else you're giving to them, that all needs to feel so authentically on brand and serve them. So really starting with identifying them. And this is going to create that brand voice, or give you the building blocks to start creating your brand voice and identifying it. Because how do they speak? What do they want to hear? Like, what are they listening to? Like, what other brands do they love? What's a big turnoff for them? That's something also to really identify, because there are things that we speak about sometimes, or words that we use, or little like nuances that we use that really aren't appealing to other people. And that's really the kind of stuff that you want to break down and identify. So then when you post, you're posting for them, you're speaking authentically to you and your business and your brand, and it just feels good all around. And that's going to reach them. So if you want to do a little deeper dive into how to identify that brand voice and really fine tune it, and what it can actually do for your business, and how to basically make the most maximum impact for your business and help it come to life, I would head to episode 39 with Kayla Hollitz, where she talks about copywriting brand voice and how to identify it. And she does this in a way that shows you how to use it as a tool for maximum impact in your business. So head to episode 39 for a deeper look at that. So the number 2 actionable item that we gave you last week on building a brand in real estate, or again, any small business, these all apply, is asking yourself, what is the intention behind the post or the email or the mailer or whatever you're using to reach your client? Are you trying to educate them? Are you sharing your expertise in this industry? Are you sharing a past experience you had that could resonate with them? Remember, again, posting for them, sending the email for them. Are you just bringing joy to, I say just, but are you bringing joy to their day, which is a huge part of a brand too? You can share your experience too and just hold space for them. Like, what is the actual intention behind that post? And of course, a variety of all that is ideal, right? For building a brand and really having others connect with you. But really sitting down and thinking, what is my intention behind this newsletter I'm sending today? Or what do I really want to get across via social media today? Or I want to send this postcard mailer. Does this really talk to my ideal client? Or does this just feel super off and like what everyone else is doing? Is it just going to get tossed aside? What is it that I'm actually trying to do? My intention. What is my intention behind this? So, number 3 that we chatted about on last week's episode was really asking yourself, what makes me unique? And what do I do better than anyone else? And this is something where you can sit and get just totally paralyzed thinking about I don't know, everyone can do this, right? Everyone's good at this, right? And I am so guilty of this myself. We're not special, but actually you are. Let me just tell you, you are, and you are unique. And you do have a unique skill set that you're going to be able to use better than anyone else. So people want to know how you're going to help them. And what you can do here is identify it and tell them, what can you do for them that no one else can do for them, or what most people can't do for them? And this is such a really neat place to really get to be in tune with yourself and figure out what you love, what you enjoy, and how that can actually help and serve someone. So I challenge you to kind of sit down for a minute and just write down things that you love and things that you actually think make you unique. And when you say to yourself, no, everyone else does that, write it down anyways and revisit that and actually think about, does everyone do that, or do they do it in the same way that I do it? So again, ask yourself, what skill set do you have that's unique, and how can that help a client solve their problems? So again, people want to know how you're going to help them. So identify and tell them. This is also an amazing place to showcase your story and the power behind it. And if you've been listening to our show for a while, or if you've gone back to past episodes, you may have listened to episode 14, where I really do a deep dive into the power of your story and why it matters, and how I believe it's your greatest marketing tool. Again, that's episode 14 if you want to go check it out. And the power of your story and your unique self is so important, and it's something that can't be duplicated. So this is really, if you're stuck here, head back to that episode and do a deep dive and listen there. Number 4, keep your visuals and brand colors consistent so you are recognizable. Okay. This is something that honestly at this point is so dang easy with Canva and with other easy programs. If you're, fluent in Photoshop, if, you're just using Canva, which is just honestly life before Canva, what was it even, right? As far as marketing goes, but keeping your visuals and brand colors consistent so you are easily recognizable is key. Visuals are so important. So everything that you send, every business card, postcard, email, post that you make, they need to see the consistency there. They need to know the stuff is coming from you. So it needs to feel the same. It needs to look very similar. And I love how on episode 9 with Allison Burns of Allie Marie Design, if you go back to episode 9, you can check this out if you haven't already. It's such a good episode. She talks about how we think sometimes, like consistency is boring, or like we're using the same templates and it's boring, when actually our clients need that. Our brand needs that. We need to be easily recognizable. There's a reason why Nike still uses that little swoosh mark. There's a reason why, Target has the Target. There are so many reasons why things don't change. Even when companies do like really big brand overhauls, many of their elements and colors stay the same. So this is a really, again, episode 9 is a really powerful episode where she dives into how to learn more about like creating your designs and how to do it even if you can't hire a professional designer. So really, again, keeping visuals and brand colors consistent is so important. And I also want to add in here, which I do think I mentioned in the last episode with Beth, is you don't need a professional designer to make this happen. And that's a big expense to take on. If you can, awesome, like great, go ahead and hire one if you're at that place or you have a team and like you're ready to do it. So you have elements for everyone on your team. But this is something that, again, you can be doing in Canva, you can be doing in Photoshop, you can be sourcing these elements and these templates other places and repurposing them. So I do want to add here, if you're running a team, which a lot of us are, or you're a part of a team, the consistency needs to run throughout the team as well. And so this is a really good starting point of like, okay, is our brand voice consistent? Are our colors consistent? Are we sending similar templates? Like, is it the same feel with everyone here? So this is the stuff that's really going to make people recognize you, your brand, and your team brand. Okay. The 5th thing, and this is probably my favorite thing, is be authentically you. No one can copy it. And that's just the way it is. You can't buy your connection with other people. You just can't. You can try and you can spend a lot of money and you can get so far. But to create that deep connection, like authentically, and to keep it long term is something that you can't actually do unless you're being authentically you. That's the reality. Did I just rhyme? That's pretty cool. So again, can't buy your connection with other people and no one can copy you. So really remember, like, ground yourself. Who are you? What shapes you? What's really important to you? What resonates with you, with your business? And how do you actually want to serve your clients? I want to leave you with another really good resource that I think is going to be helpful when you're thinking your brand and where you're going to go with it and how you're going to serve and who your audience is and how you can be authentic and all that good stuff. And if you head to episode 5, and I would say if you're going to check out any episode right after this one, head there first. Episode 5, I share my 5 strategies to kickstart your Instagram. And within that episode, I really break down how to create those different areas of your brand and help them showcase well so it feels well-rounded, authentic, alive, and really will resonate with other people. So again, head back to episode 5 strategies to kickstart your Instagram today, and it will really take you down a really good path of finding those different areas of your brand and allowing you to execute them. I love that episode so much. And honestly, like, go there next, because if you're serious about building a brand that is long lasting, this will help you create those foundation pieces that you need. Okay, hope those tips were really helpful for you. And I know I gave you a bunch of resources to go check out. So I'm making this episode quick so you can head on over to those and really dive in. And if you're feeling right now like, okay, I kind of have a good grasp on this, But you still don't really know what to post or what to put in your email newsletter. Like, I totally see you. I get it. I'm going to send you over to episode 34 where I share my top 3 strategies if you're stuck in a content rut. This is such a good one if you're just like, okay, I have an idea of my brand. I know where I'm going with this. I know who I want to speak to, but I literally have no idea what to post. This one is going to give you 3 quick strategies to get started today, and it's a good one. So quick and easy, and it's going to take those items we just went over and help you put them into action. So I hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. I hope this got the wheels turning, and I'm really, really excited to see our social media shift back to authentic brands and feel good, and those email newsletters start cranking out. I'm so excited to hear from you. Hit me up on Instagram and let me know where you're at or if you have any questions at all. I can't wait to connect with you. So until next time, remember to enjoy your summer, keep your face off a bus bench, and keep being the badass boss babe that you are. Okay, girls, are you feeling as inspired as we are? We're over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast.
If you want more, head over to girlgetyourfaceoffabusbench.com for show notes and more episodes. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. They mean the world to us, and they're what keep us going.
Girl, thanks for being here.